guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today is time for another spooky true story. I have my cup of tea. I got my Michael Myers t-shirt on, my Halloween t-shirt. I mean, literally Halloween the movie. And yeah, let's settle in for another true story. I have said before that these stories always seem, kind of spooky and weird because they're unexplained. As people, we tend to fear the unknown, the unexplainable, the odd, the paranormal. And when it comes to spirit, what I know now, of course, back then, these stories are all about like back then. I would not have been afraid. And I hope people are not afraid of spirit. However, I always think it is fun to hear a quote unquote spooky story, an unexplained story, not for the fright factor, but for the, ooh, that's interesting, type thing. Just because for now, it is unexplained. Possibly in the future, we'll be able to explain these things. For now, I have my beliefs and what I think, spirit is and the other realms and dimensions and all of that. But let's go ahead and settle in for our story. For this particular story, it takes place when I was in, I think it was either in 11th or 12th grade. Oh well, doesn't matter. I was in high school, and therefore I got to go to bed just a little bit later. So I think my bedtime was like, I think my mother set it at like 10 o'clock, and sometimes if it was like a Friday night, I could stay up a little later till like 11 o'clock, so like 10 11-ish, before I had to go to bed. Not to be out and about, because I wasn't allowed to be out and about, but at home, if I wanted to stay up and watch television, I could. So my mom loved to watch The Highlander, so my mom and I would be like watching The Highlander, and then after that, I think it was America's Most Wanted came on, and then Unsolved Mysteries, and I always loved Unsolved Mysteries. Even the music is spooky. And I think after Unsolved Mysteries came Tales from the Crypt. I think that's what came on afterwards. But I never stayed up late enough really for Tales from the Crypt, every once in a while. But anywho, so Unsolved Mysteries was coming on, and it was like one of my favorite shows. So my mom was going to stay up with me, but she was like tired, and she was like, don't forget that after your show's over, you got to go to bed and turn off all the lights and everything. And I was like, okay. So my house that I grew up in is a little on the creepy side, mainly because I think that all the energy that was in my house was of the low vibrational energy. There was a lot of discord between my parents. There was obviously a lot of like, mental goings-ons of the low vibrational state between me and my brother, just because of like, the energy going on with our family. It wasn't always super awesome, so. And then the fact that, basically the home never really got energetically cleansed, and, stuff's just like coming in and out and just like latching on to any sort of low vibrational emotion that's going on in the home, which there were many. So it made the home what I think a beacon for the lower vibe energies. Not that there weren't some high vibe energies floating around that house as well, but I just think there was like a lot going on. So I was always a little creeped out being alone in the house, because I felt like, and my brother can, if my brother had a YouTube channel, he would say the same thing as well, that if he was ever alone, it's like everything just like latched onto us, like could see that we could see. And because my brother and I, we have basically the same abilities. So so anyway, Unsolved Mysteries is coming on. My mom goes off to bed. The only light on is the one that's in our living room. We have like a ceiling fan, and like the ceiling fan has the lights and all of that. Everything else is off in the house, and I'm like, cool, I'm getting into Unsolved Mysteries, and they're playing that Unsolved Mysteries music, which to me is already creepy. And then it was like partway into the show, and I'm like, wow, I'm like really engaged into the show. And I start to hear footsteps upstairs, which is not uncommon. That's something that the whole family would hear every once in a while if we were ever alone, or it was just like a couple people. We would hear walking around, like really heavy footsteps walking around upstairs. Like it was it was like not a did I hear footsteps upstairs? It's no, it sounds like there's actually somebody upstairs. Like to the point where my dad used to think that we had intruders in the house, and he used to keep a baseball bat by the front door, like a metal baseball bat, and like a brass baseball bat, by the way. This is not aluminum. We lived in the hood, okay? So he used to think that there's be people breaking into the house, so he'd like run upstairs and be like, you know, of course there's nothing there. So I'm hearing footsteps and I'm like, oh crap. No, like I want to stay up and watch my show. I like don't have time for ghosts right now. You know, because they at the time used to like freak me out and scare me, because you know I couldn't explain them. Oh, camera's moving around. That's because it's time for Walito. Hey Wally, and here's the Wally tail. So oh yeah, he wants to get on in the story. He's like, Mom, don't need to be afraid, Walito is here. So okay, so I'm hearing these footsteps upstairs, and it's like this walking back and forth in the hallway, and I like freeze because I'm like, oh my gosh. And then like moments later, so this is it's like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, so moments later, the ceiling fan just starts moving like all on its own. By the way, there's not like a lot of wind going through the house. In fact, that's why we have a ceiling fan, because there is no wind going through the house. And so the thing slowly starts spinning, and it starts picking up speed, and I look on the wall and the switch is now turned. Like somebody turned on the ceiling fan. It was not on previously, because I was the only one sitting there on the couch, you know, after my mother went to bed, and you know my father and my brother are already asleep, and so it's on the low setting. I'm like, oh, and then all of a sudden the lights start flickering. And so it's like the lights are like going like in and out, like zzz, you know, so like the room is getting dark and bright, and I was like, I don't think I want to stay up for this. You know, I think I'm good. I think that I don't need to watch any more TV. I think that I should go right to my room, and I should probably go to bed now. At that moment, the lights really start to dim, like they get really dark. Like it's I swear to God, it's like those scary movies, except it's real life. And so, okay, teenage me is freak the F out. Me now would be like, excuse me, trying to watch television, better sage the house. Anyway, so yeah, the lights are dimming to where it's almost going to be pitch black in the living room, which is where I don't want to be. I don't want to be in the middle of the living room in the dark, in a dark house, because this house yeah, I really was afraid of the dark, and so was my brother. Because things came out when the lights went out. And then I hear whatever was walking around upstairs is now at the top of the stairs. Then I hear thump, thump, thump. I hear it coming down the freaking stairs. By the way, like if I'm facing, like if this camera is the television, off to like the ceiling fan would be right above me. The kitchen would be off to this side, and there would be a staircase, like a wall, and behind the wall there's like a staircase, and at the bottom of the staircase is the door to the garage. So like whoever's coming down the stairs, you'd be able to see them at the foot of the stairs in the kitchen. So as whatever is like halfway down the stairs, I'm like moved as fast as you could see anybody move. Like TV's off, lights are off, like I am sprinting to my bedroom, and I would be so scared. I would turn on all the lights in my bedroom. And what was interesting is in this house, and I don't know, it could be that just the house had faulty wiring, which is altogether possible, because you know my grandfather would be sometimes on the cheap when it came to fixing the electricity or wiring in the house. And it used to be my grandparents' house. Well, I mean, we were renting from my grandparents. So that was one of my grandfather's properties. So I would like turn on the lights in my room, and what would always happen, and it would just be in my room, is I would turn on all the lights, but the light that was always next to my nightstand, the bulb would blow probably about like once a week, and I even changed the lamp and we even changed the bulb, like the wattage, because we thought maybe like that wattage isn't for that plug. We had my grandfather like fix the plug, like the outlet, and nope. The bulbs would just blow in my bedroom, especially when I was really freaked out, when I really felt like there was a lot of energy and it was like right behind me and was like right with me, and it would like follow me into my bedroom because I'd be running, and the bulbs would just go poof, poof, poof. There was like 4 lamps in my room, and they would just like all blow at the same time, which would freak me out. So when I went off to Long Beach State and I lived in the dorms, I never had such a peaceful rest, like ever. Like, I was in the dorms and it was just like so peaceful to hear that all the noises and all the ruckus of like dorm college life was coming from real people. And I just would sleep so soundly. I would sleep like a baby, because growing up in that home between 6 years of age and 18 years of age, everything you heard at night was not happy. It was not pleasant. So there you go. So I mean, I have so many stories from that house, like seeing things, feeling things, like poltergeist activity, like so much. And like I said, if I knew then what I know now, or what I can control now, and knew about the grounding yourself and clearing your space and all of that, things would probably have been a lot different. But to somebody who is already, scared of what you could see, and and other people were scared of it, so they taught you to be scared of it. So it was like a very scary existence. And there's a mosquito in this room. No mosquitoes, thank you. I don't want to be bit on my butt again. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this very spooky story, a very true story. And so yes, like I said, it was just little teenage me, little like 16, 17-year-old me. And yeah, let me know what you guys think, and if you have any spooky stories, I'd be willing to hear those in the comments section down below. And yeah, if you guys dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you have any other Halloween themed or spooky themed videos you'd like to see me make before the end of October, early November, definitely leave that in the comments section down below. But I'm enjoying having like a spooky story every Friday, kind of leading up to All Hallows Eve, Samhain, Dia de los Muertos, Halloween, All Saints Day. Yeah, so if you would like to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittenswaitsandtarot.com. I have all kinds of readings, and I even have mediumship readings if you would like to check that out. And if you want to throw a little love my way, think about joining that KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittenswaitsandtarot. And that's it for me, spiritual homies. Wally and I are wishing you an awesome sauce day. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.